Conversations with AMR Elite Realtors with Taylor Properties. I am so glad to be here. This is our first episode in March, which is Women's History Month. So it's always perfect to have a woman here with us for the beginning of March. We have Miss Carrie Webster of CMW Solutions with us here today. So I love Women's History Month for one, because it's all about us. But also in March, it is Kidney Cancer Awareness Month. I have to say that. I always honor everyone when it comes to kidney cancer survivors, persons that have passed away and everything. And I just want to make sure that everyone goes and get their kidneys checked. Okay? I also wanted to do a shout out to Miss Mashana Perry. She's the young lady that started our Coffee and Conversations. She's doing well at home. She's getting better day by day. Just continue to keep her in your prayers. And Miss Juanita Winky Kennedy, she was, a little unable to be with us this morning, but she's in our prayers as well. So let's get Coffee and Conversation started.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm happy to have you. I'm happy that you're here. So can you tell us about your company and the services that you offer?
So I started my tax company. It's called CMW Business and Tax Solutions, LLC, this last year. And I started the company as just a way to start helping people be able to understand their tax situations better. Over the years, when you go to the more well-known businesses that offer tax services, you don't always find very good services. You don't find people who are offering you extra information to help you throughout the next tax season. Like what documents should I save to be able to apply for certain credits or deductions? And I just see like a need for that. So I started going through the process to become registered with the IRS to be able to do taxes. And then Maryland itself has their own requirements. You have to be certified in Maryland to actually provide tax services. So I did that. And yeah, like I said, I just want to be able to provide services to people that will help them understand their tax situation better, help them get credits and deductions they may not know about or may not have ever been asked about when they go to a regular tax service. I don't want to name any names, but the larger companies out there that provide those services. My apologies.
No problem.
I had a thought. Yeah, they don't necessarily ask you more questions if you don't bring in documentation and know ahead of time to bring these things. They don't even really ask. So yeah, I just felt like that it would be a way that I could provide a better service and help people learn more about their tax situation, help them with tax education, things like that.
Well, I appreciate that fact, because most of the time we start our businesses based on our personal experiences, and it helps us be able to provide that different avenue for each client that we have. And taxes are something that's just
yes,
like it's scary. And you have people having anxiety attack, heart attack, you name it, whatever attack there is, they have it when it's tax time. So you never know. You're right. You never know what materials you need to bring or what things could be used as a tax write-off. So can you give us some of the secrets, if you could, of what items in our home can be written off? Because I've heard, now tell me if I'm wrong, because I used to say this. So there was this company that you could start in your home for $10. So I used to tell everybody, hey, join that company and make that room an office so you can have a tax write-off. Is that true?
It is, to a degree. There are some stipulations. The room would have to be something that you use exclusively for the business, and you have to use it regularly. Not just, I have this business and I'm using it as a way to write off a portion of my home. Okay. But yes, you can. And up to 300 square feet of your home you can claim. And the IRS has actually done some kind of cool things with how you can claim that deduction. Instead of having, you can still claim portion of your energy bills, any of your utility bills, internet services, obviously office supplies, office furniture, all of those things. But they have another option where if you don't want to go figuring out all of your utilities, the portion of your utilities to write off, I believe it is $5 per square foot,
Oh,
up to
okay.
300 square feet, that you can just have like a straight line deduction. And you would still be able to claim office furniture and things like that. But as far as like the home itself and the utilities that would be used through your business, you can do a straight line deduction versus itemizing each of those things.
And that's good to know because, you know, when you're working out of your home office, you are paying for, you know, the heat, the air, the electricity, the internet, all of those things are part of what you're using for your business. And I also, how about this? I found out that you can also write off your lawn maintenance.
Oh, I will have to look into that. I
Yes,
didn't know that.
I've heard you can write off your lawn maintenance because your home office is there. So it's like the beautification of your office area. So if you have someone that, you know, especially if you're taking clients and everything into your office, then you can write off your lawn care. So this is a good thing to know right now, especially if you have not already done your taxes.
And you can file amendments. If you find out there's tax deductions out there that you didn't claim, you can always go back to your tax professional and file an amendment, or see me and I can help.
You saw this, I did that. Yeah. So what are some pointers that you can share with homeowners about getting the documentation prepared for the taxes?
So there's many things. I have a couple different ideas on that. One, if you don't have like self-employment income or a business in your home, it's a little easier because there's going to be less things that you would claim as a deduction.
Right.
But you should keep excellent documentation. You know, if keep obviously your mortgage statements, because you can write off your mortgage interest. You can write off property taxes, keep your property tax statements and the payment that you made towards them.
So I have a quick question. So the mortgage interest, that was very interesting you said that. So you said keep your statements. I know at the end of the year, most banks will send you the interest statement, but now it's gotten to the point everything's online, or, you know, sometimes you can't get into that account and you're like, I gotta get my taxes in. How do you use just the mortgage statements? Can they just, you know, if you give it to the tax preparer, they'll look at it and get what the interest is off of that, or?
Yeah, we could add up each month's amount.
She's a special tax person, because I'm going to say this because, you know, they might come after me, but I know a lot of tax preparers that are not going to sit there and add all of that up. So that's good if you can't, because I didn't know that you could. I thought you had to have just that interest statement.
You should have that.
Right.
But that's why I'm saying, if you keep good documentation throughout the year for all of your monthly things, there are ways that a good tax professional can help you find out those things. Because sometimes you have most of your documentation and you might be missing one or two things and you're like, I don't really want to wait for this, you know, to come. I want to file my taxes now. And so some tax professionals may not file your taxes at all if you don't have that statement, but there are ways that you can work around that.
Yeah, because I always tell my first homeowners too to make sure that they keep their, it's called an ALTA now, it used to be called a HUD, but the ALTA, because they're going to need that for taxes to show that they just purchased a home that tax year. You might not get your interest for that first year, but the next year is when you should start being able to use your interest for your taxes, correct?
I did not know that, so I will have to look into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I was gonna say a couple other things that people may not know that they can write off on their taxes when it comes to selling their home, or just whether it's business related in your home or it's your own home and not operating a business out of it. But if you have casualty losses, if there was a large disaster, environmental disaster, or things like that, you can write off the losses from that. And then if they like if you had to go stay in a hotel, those kind of things would be items you can write off. If you had to replace clothing and replacing furniture, all of that stuff. Usually your homeowners so sorry.
Homeowners
insurance sorry, will cover the cost of it, but you're probably still going to have some expenses that you end up incurring out of that situation. If you owned a home and sold it, and you had to have owned it for 2 of the last 5 years, if you sold it and you were single and you made $250,000 in profit, or if you're married, filing jointly and made $500,000 in profit, there are no taxes on that. That is income in your pockets that you don't have to claim on your taxes.
That's excellent. And there were a lot of people that made about 250,000, but were they single? I don't know.
Yes. And then have you made any energy efficient improvements? There are often tax credits for that.
So solar panels?
Yeah, solar panels. That's the one I could think of. I think water heaters. I think if you get the energy efficient water heaters and things like that, those are also, I believe, those qualify.
Okay.
Boats and RVs that they are physically able to be lived on or in, those count as mortgage interest too, if you're paying interest on it.
Wow.
Yep.
So you can have a home and you can have the yacht that you live on for a certain amount of time that you're paying a mortgage on and claim the interest on both. I want to get there one day.
Yes.
I'm not there yet. I don't have a yacht yet. But when I get my yacht, I know who's going to do my taxes.
And as a caveat for anyone who is watching this who may be in a much higher tax bracket, if you fall into the alternative minimum tax, you don't qualify for that. So our apologies for that, but
okay.
often there are caveats to all of the different deductions and credits you can take, but this one especially, if you have 3-4 yachts, if you've got 2-3 RVs and a couple homes, you probably don't qualify.
Oh wow. Okay, so I have to have just one yacht, one house. That's good enough.
If you're selling your home, and you may know this, if you're selling your home, you can actually write off advertising, title insurance, certain types of home improvements that were made in preparation for selling. Yes, what was that? I'm so sorry. Selling, preparation selling. Oh yeah, and then I talked about the 250 or 500,000 profit.
That's good information. Now, selling your home and advertising it, that would be if you were doing it for sale by owner. But if you're using the great realtors at AMR Elite Realtors, will handle that.
Oh.
But yes, that is great information.
Yeah, you can write off.
Right, I can.
Yes.
I can.
Yeah. Okay. So those were the items that I highlighted as being good ways that you can get deductions on your taxes.
That's great information for getting deducted on our taxes.
And I know this wasn't part of something we had discussed, but I do actually have some pretty interesting information about some bills that are being proposed right now.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know how much people have paid attention over the years, but in 2008, there was a first-time homebuyers credit that you could earn.
Right.
And in 2008, they required that it was a loan and you paid it back over 15 years. Then in 2009 and 10, they did not create it as a loan anymore. It was just income that you got from the government as like a perk and like trying to kind of fix the housing crisis that happened.
Right.
But now there are 2 bills that are going through Congress right now. One is the first-time homebuyers bill, and it's not law yet. But if you purchased your home anywhere between, I believe it was like the end of December 2020, up till now, when they passed this bill, you can qualify. Obviously, if you meet certain criteria, you can qualify for up to $15,000 in a first-time homebuyers credit, and you would file an amended return with your tax professional or me, and then you would get that credit pretty much immediately. Like as soon as they process the return, you would get it. Like I said, it's not in law yet, but it.
So what do we have to do to advocate for that law?
Oh man,
we need to advocate for that law for our first-time home buyer.
I would assume we need to call our congressmen,
right,
our senators.
That's excellent though. So they will automatically get $15,000 back. And most first-time home buyers in the past market that bought during that time frame put $15,000 or more into the purchase.
Yes.
So that's excellent that you get to get $15,000 back. So please talk to your tax professional or Ms. Webster about that so that you can get that done.
Yes. Once it becomes law.
So right. So if one person does your taxes, can you go to someone else to amend them?
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay, that's good to know.
And then there is going to be an inflationary accounting for the future years. So
Okay.
2021 was actually 15,000 when the bill passes. The proposal is 2022 will be 15,750.
Oh.
2023, the proposal is 16,538. 2024, the max would be 17,364. And then 2025 was the last that they had budgeted in this bill, is 18,233. And I assume 2020, they're trying to make this a permanent bill. So where the 2008 one, it was only 2008, 9, and 10. But this one they're trying to make permanent. So
That's good. That's great information.
and then the second one, oh, let me give a couple caveats.
Okay.
If you were to sell your home within the first 4 years of purchase, there is the requirement that you would have to pay back a portion. So in the first year, it'd be 100%, second year, 75, third year, 50, and the fourth year, 25. So if you own it for more than the 4 years, like go into the fifth year, and then sell your home, you don't have to pay any of that back. And then the other tax benefits that that are being proposed alongside this bill is the Down Payment Toward Equity Act. And that bill proposes to pay people $25,000 to help you with your eligible closing costs, taxes, interest.
Wow.
You would have to qualify, and they're looking for low to middle income people who would normally just end up renting. They want to really encourage people to be able to
Purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. And
that's great information.
yeah.
That's great information.
Thank you.
So I am so happy you were here today because I think I've learned some things as well.
I have some things to look into too.
Yeah.
You know, taxes are huge. There's not any tax professional, unless they've been doing it for a very long time,
knows everything, right?
Everything.
But it changes every year. It's always something every year. So it's really hard to keep up with all the tax laws. Even when, someone comes to me as a realtor and they say, hey, can I do this on my taxes? I don't know. I need you to call Ms. Webster because that's not my specialty. But my specialty is to get you in front of the proper people to get the answers that you need. So that's why we have her here today, especially with it being tax time. There are a lot of people that purchased within the last market that they were like, like I said, they came out of pocket with a lot of money. They came out of pocket over the asking price and things like that. So now they're just trying to figure out, how can I recoup my money? Is there a way I can recoup my money? And then to know that they have the $25,000 thing that's about to happen, which I need that information before she leaves from here today, so that I can make sure that my clients are able to benefit from that $25,000 to purchase, because renting is crazy right now. So it is a good initiative to try to get people to purchase, because this renting, landlords, I'm sure landlords hate me, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So now, with all of this great information that you shared with us today, I want to know, how do we get in touch with you? What's your information? Well, if you want to get in touch with me, I will, on the link, I will also make sure I provide all of these items so that it's easy for you to click. But my website is cmwsolutions.com. I have a mobile app on the App Store for Apple and for Google Play that you can download. It is CMW Business and Tax Solutions, LLC. My phone number is 301-888-6844. And I am, at this time, and probably every year, I'll try to find different and various promotions, but I have 2 different promotions that I'm offering right now. And one is a referral fee. Anyone who refers someone to me and they file their taxes, I will give that person who referred them a $50 gift card or $50 in a check. And then I also have a 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher that is all across. You can use the hotel all across the states. And there are some requirements in there, but it's an awesome program to be able to offer to your clients. That's great. That's great. So her information that she just shared with us, it will be on my website at www.amrelite.com. It will be posted on the Facebook page as well, so that you can get to it. So the video is here on Facebook. It's also on our YouTube page. and Miss Webster will be sharing it on her personal platforms as well. I do thank you so very much for being here with us today. And I just want everyone to know, if you're looking for great realtors, great tax preparers, you can find us here at AMR Elite Realtors. On Saturday, March the 11th, we'll be hosting a home buyer information seminar. So if you're interested in participating or attending,